Spider-Man, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. Can he swing from a web? Yes, he can, 'cause he's Spider-Man. Look out, it's the motherfucking Spider-Man. Superhero movies. You gotta love them. These are my top 5 most favorite superhero movies of all time. I know there is a lot of superhero movies out there, but these are the 5 I prefer. Just a disclaimer, this is all opinion based. I'm not saying these are the greatest superhero movies ever made. Well, to me they are. But to each their own. Okay, let's get this shit rolling.
Number 5. The Wolverine. Let's all be honest here. When someone mentions the X-Men, you instinctively picture Wolverine in your head right off the bat. Don't deny it, my friends, because why would you? You have nothing to be ashamed about at all. Wolverine is one awesome dude, and he's also Canadian. The reason I picked this one to be on my list is because this movie shows for once how Wolverine can actually be killed, and yet again, Wolverine still kicks ass even without his healing powers. Like, come on, how many of you can go to Japan and slice up a bunch of Yakuza gangsters without your immortality backing you up? So, long story short, flashback scene shows Wolverine saving Yoshida from a nuclear blast. Yoshida finds him years later. Yoshida asks him for his immortality. Wolverine says no, it's a curse. Yoshida dies. We see Jean Grey's wide frog-like face in a bunch of dream sequences. Turns out Yoshida faked his death, tries to steal Wolverine's powers, but then actually ends up dying. Sucks for him. And I also think his bodyguard slash sidekick, Yukio, looks so freaking adorable. She almost looks like a living anime character. She's got some spongy eyeballs. But still, it would be better not to piss her off. And this PG-13 rated superhero movie sure has a lot of blood and swearing. I used to be a superhero, but then I took numerous arrows to the back. This film is fun and action-y. And X-Men Origins Wolverine isn't all that bad either. But like John Connor would say, I think this movie is a couple cans short of a 6-pack. Okay, on to the next one.
Number 4.
They call me Swamp Thing.
Return of Swamp Thing. Yes, that is right. Return of Swamp Thing. When I first saw this movie, I was like, holy shit, what a great cheese fest. I think of Swamp Thing as a male version of Poison Ivy. And don't worry, Batman and Robin aren't going to be on this top 5 list. That movie sucked ass. I know that was a bit cold-hearted of me to say. Anyway, the story is very simple. I'll just give you a short detail. Abby Arcane, played by Heather Locklear, travels to the Florida swamps to confront her evil stepfather, Dr. Arcane, played by Louis Jordan. I thought Swamp Thing killed him in the first movie. I guess God hands out resurrections to anyone these days. Anyway, but unfortunately, Dr. Arcane tries using her stepdaughter in an evil experiment. But then Swamp Thing saves the day. Dick Durock, the guy who played Swamp Thing, stated in a 2008 interview they tried in Return of Swamp Thing to make it comedy, campy, and that's tough to make that work. Really? I thought it turned out pretty good. I love the cheesy love story between Abby Arcane and Swamp Thing.
But I can't give you the kind of love you want.
Why not?
I'm a planet.
That's okay. I'm a vegetarian.
I wonder what happened to Adrienne Barbeau from the first movie. And I can't forget about the monster with the octopus-like cranium and the droopy foreskin face. Like, my god, look at that thing. It's creepy as hell. And the fight scene Swamp Thing has with this monster is pretty wicked. And this film has one of the best intros I have ever seen. Fucking CCR. Nice. I also like the comic book illustrations they put up during the intro. Makes this movie have more of a creative flow. It's cheap, silly, low budget, but very entertaining in my books. And that's why I love this movie. And yes, I do think it's way better than the first Swamp Thing by Wes Craven. But that's another story. Okay, let's get on with the other one.
I'm a villain.
Number 3. Superman. 2.
Superman. You mean, you think I'm Superman? Willing to bet my life on it.
Lois, you are priceless. Really. I mean, that is the single most ridiculous thing.
Ever notice how crazy Lois Lane is in this
Lois,
movie?
what are you doing?
God, what
You
a
wouldn't let me die, Superman.
So I do like the first Superman movie, but this one has more of a philosophy to it. For me, the human race can be so feeble sometimes. That's why we have such faith in our governments and its military defense to conquer and defeat whatever threats come our way. Unless it's the Kryptonians, then we're fucked. Seriously, these guys had the human race by the balls. General Zod even made the president of the USA bow down to him.
God. Zod.
Everyone
Superman,
was
can
in
you
such
hear
a
me?
panic.
Superman, what? Who is this Superman?
You'll find out, General. And when you do,
Come to me, Superman.
And where was Superman? Going on a trip with crazy Lois Lane, of course. So, story is, Lex Luthor finds out Superman's weakness. It's that he cares too much. Aww. Yes, how corny. Anyway, Lex makes a deal with Zod, saying if he gives Zod Superman, he gets to have the whole country of Australia all to himself. Oh, hit the Barbie. So Superman stops hanging out with Crazy Bitch and defeats the Kryptonians, and Gene Hackman goes to jail. This film did have a serious tone to it, but surprisingly this movie was pretty hilarious at times too.
my little black box is just about ready.
Oh, that little black box in our cell.
That little black box, Mr. Luthor. What's it for?
Especially Lex Luthor and Otis. My god, these two make like a comedy duo. Too bad Lex left him behind during his escape from jail. And my god, is General Zod terrifying. Terrence Stamp did a wonderful job at playing Zod. Sorry, but Michael Shannon didn't even come close to playing the megalomaniac supervillain known as General Zod. Terrence Stamp pretty much got Zod's character down to a T, just like how Heath Ledger got Joker's character down to a T. Speaking of Joker, number 2. The Dark Knight.
And here we go.
What? You didn't think I was going to forget about Batman, did you? The Dark Knight has to be one of the most treasured Batman movies to me. Just a quick interlude, I did really enjoy The Dark Knight Rises, and was very thankful I didn't get shot at its big movie debut at my local theater. Just me being honest, I thought Bane was a more suitable opponent for Batman, and a better villain for the Nolan's Batman franchise. But the Joker was just way more entertaining, so instead of copping out and putting both of them on the list, I just decided to go with The Dark Knight. Anyway, I honestly think the Joker had borderline personality disorder. He did not give a fuck about his appearance, his self-respect. He was in it for his own fucking delusional ideology about raising anarchy in Gotham while dressed up like a dirty clown hobo. And Two-Face was pretty damn terrorizing as well. Even though they pulled a Spider-Man 3 and had him in the film at the last moment, but Aaron Eckhart did a fantastic job playing Harvey Dent. Kudos to him. Not only Heath and Aaron, but the whole cast in The Dark Knight is phenomenal. Like Morgan Freeman, Christian Bale, Gary Oldman, Cillian Murphy, and of course, Michael Caine. No, I said Michael Caine, not Michael Caine. There, that's better. And another awesome thing about The Dark Knight, pretty much every special effect in this film was practical, like the semi tripping over and the whole chase scene in general. I just like how Christopher Nolan's put so much effort with practical effects. And the visual effects in this movie are pretty much spot on gorgeous as well. And yes, I am aware everyone around the world neckpicks this movie to death with all its plot holes. Oh, fuck do they ever. Think some people need to get a life? But fuck, nobody argued about the horse head scene in The Godfather. Like, seriously, how did they get that decapitated horse head next to Jack Waltz without waking him up? Must have been a deep sleeper. And for fuck's sakes, we all knew from the get-go Rosebud was a sled Charles Foster Kane used to have when he was a kid. Seriously, give it a rest, netpickers. Dark Knight was a fun movie, kept me entertained. Lots of action, some classic Batman villains thrown in. Also the best Joker ever in history and film. Thank you, Heath Ledger. Rest in peace. And to me, the best actor to ever play Batman would have to be Val Kilmer. Yes, that is right. He only had to play Batman once, and he did a 100% job at doing it. Come on, it was better than listening to Christian Bale's Chainsmoker voice. Yes, I just wanted to get a rise from all you Batman fanboys out there.
Whew. I might need a little help revealing my number one pick. And I think I know who to call. So, will Senator Ben ever get this review done? Will he ever reveal his number one superhero movie to the world? Well, you're just gonna have to tune in. Same Senator time, same Senator channel.